$5,000. That is what Sara Blakely started with in 1998. Not a pitch deck, not a co-founder, not a single outside investor. One woman, one savings account, one very specific problem: white pants and visible pantyhose lines. How does that become $1.2 billion? The answer is not a founder myth. Spanx reaches a $1.2 billion valuation in 2021, bootstrapped, founder-led, and private the entire time. No external capital round. No public market to validate the concept before it had earned that right. The mechanism is verifiable. Extreme capital constraint forces one precise customer pain point and prototype-first execution, followed by disciplined reinvestment of early proof. One account cites $4 million in first-year sales, before institutional money arrived, before the brand needed any of it. The real question is not whether the outcome was improbable. It is what decision sequence made it repeatable. The origin is not a boardroom insight. It is a dressing room failure in 1998. White, form-fitting pants, visible lines, discomfort, and a quick experiment cutting the feet off shapewear hosiery. That moment defines the real opportunity. The problem is not fashion. The problem is recurring friction women face in normal life, where confidence and comfort break at the same seam. With $5,000 in savings, the constraint is absolute. No design team, no research department, no investor cushion. That scarcity forces precision. Solve one use case first, make the prototype real, and test whether the fix works on an actual body, under actual clothes, in actual routines. Constraint removes vanity decisions. It sharpens the value proposition to one sentence customers instantly understand. Then comes the credibility wall. No formal fashion training means manufacturers can dismiss the concept quickly. And many do. The early process is less launch and more persistence loop. Call, explain, get rejected, refine, repeat. The breakthrough is practical, not theatrical. A North Carolina plant agrees to the first production run after a recommendation from the owner's daughters. That detail matters because it shows demand logic before scale logic. The product resonates with users before it wins institutional approval. This is the strategic pattern. Specific pain point, prototype first execution, founder-funded discipline, then early proof. The origin does more than explain where Spanx began. It explains why the company builds muscle in focus, speed, and customer signal detection. The next question is decisive. What single go-to-market move turns that first run into undeniable demand? $4 million in first-year sales is the signal that changes everything. This is no longer a clever prototype, it is market behavior. Spanx moves from interesting idea to people actively buying. And that shift matters more than any early headline. Demand is now observable, not hypothetical. The distribution strategy is brutally efficient. With almost no budget for paid media, Blakely handles early marketing herself and sends samples directly to a high-impact outlet and program. Then the catalytic event lands, an influential on-air mention in 2000. Awareness spikes fast, and sales velocity follows. Not because ad spend suddenly appears, but because trusted media voices transfer credibility at scale. That is the inflection. Strategically, this is the proof of demand chapter every bootstrap case needs. Customer pull starts showing up through retail and product interest, then public visibility amplifies it. The order of operations is critical. Product solves a real pain point first, attention accelerates second. If that sequence is reversed, growth often collapses. Here, the sequence holds. This traction also rewrites the financing logic. Early revenue validates product-market fit before institutional capital enters, preserving strategic control while uncertainty is still highest. In practical terms, each sale does two jobs. It funds operations and confirms that the use case is repeatable. That dual function is a compounding advantage in a resource-constrained company. But breakout attention can be fragile. The next strategic layer is harder. How does Spanx convert a moment of visibility into a durable system that keeps winning after the spotlight moves on? The Moat isn't a logo, it's an operating system. And it has 4 layers. Layer 1, pain point precision. Solve for comfort and invisibility in real wardrobes, not in abstract fashion theory. The patent dress Blakely wore to the Hall of Fame gala was more than a showpiece. It etched her defensibility in thread. Layer 2. Iteration speed. Improve fit through direct customer response, then cycle those insights back into design. This feedback loop moved faster than any corporate R&D department. Layer 3. Customer resonance. The value is so simple users explain it clearly, so demand travels through trust, not heavy promotion. Layer 4. Invention credibility. Blakely later publicly showcased her patents, signaling the edge was built, documented, and defensible. A quiet message to the market. This isn't a trend. It's an engineered advantage. That same system shapes expansion discipline. Spanx doesn't jump randomly into new categories. It extends from core shapewear into adjacent needs. Leggings, swimwear, activewear, where the same fit logic still applies. This is critical. Adjacency lowers execution risk while preserving brand meaning. Each new launch generates more feedback that sharpens the next. The moat strengthens because learning compounds across the portfolio. But the rare structural move was financial, not cosmetic. For over a decade, Spanx grew without external investors or debt. It bootstrapped its way to a scale most venture-backed rivals never reach, $4 million in its first year alone. This preserved strategic choice at the exact moment most brands surrender it. Product decisions stayed close to customer truth, not quarterly capital pressure. So financing didn't build the moat. The moat earned financing leverage later. If the moat is truly durable, the next question is scale. How far does compounding carry Spanx before the weight of its own success demands a new strategy? The compounding effect accelerates. With a validated core product and disciplined category expansion, the brand's gravity increases. Public figure adoption is not a cause of this momentum. It is a late-stage consequence of a brand that has already earned its place. For over 2 decades, the Bootstrap system reinvests its own success, scaling from a $5,000 start to an institutional force. The scoreboard confirms the trajectory. In 2021, an investment fund acquires a majority stake in a transaction that values Spanx at around $1.2 billion. This is not early-stage venture capital. This is late-stage validation capital, arriving after years of proven demand and profitability. The company remains private, its valuation a milestone, not a fluctuating public market signal. The founder's strategic continuity is secured. Sara Blakely remains a major equity holder and becomes executive chairwoman, steering growth initiatives into new digital and geographic frontiers. The deal is not an exit. It is a partnership to amplify the existing system. The engine that converted a simple insight into a category leader is now primed for global scale, backed by capital that recognizes the durability of its design. So how do you separate the product from the process? What exact framework can founders in other sectors borrow without copying the product category? The pattern is not inspiration. It is a strategic playbook. First, embrace a hard constraint. The initial $5,000 was not a limitation. It was a filter, forcing intense focus on a single, painful user friction, instead of chasing broad market theories. Second, translate a personal insight into a low-cost prototype. The goal is not a perfect product, but a testable one that generates real-world feedback. Third, achieve a breakthrough using a single, high-leverage credibility channel. That one media mention created more signal than $1 million ad buy, driving $4 million in first-year sales and proving undeniable demand. Fourth, build the moat. This is not a patent alone, but a system of disciplined, adjacent expansion and compounded customer learning. Finally, leverage compounding advantage. The discipline that built the company for years without outside capital is precisely what made it worth $1.2 billion to an investor later. Control was not an accident. It was the core asset being built all along. The playbook converts scarcity into focus, traction into leverage, and operational control into an unassailable negotiating position. It's a framework where the founder's deepest constraint becomes the business's ultimate strength. This raises a final, critical question. In markets addicted to fundraising speed, when does building a business that doesn't need sinai capital become the strongest long-term negotiating position?
Learn the next winning strategy.